right, guys, what's going on? It's finally over. The Cubs have traded away all of their core players, right. Rizzo, Baez, Bryant, for prospects and, other players. I think we got a second baseman from the White Sox.
Yeah, lots of different.
That's a positive, I guess. But, we knew this was coming.
Yeah.
We knew it was coming.
It's probably coming for a couple of years at this point.
Yeah, we knew it was coming really ever since Jock Peterson was traded away.
Yeah.
We knew that, this core was on its way out. We probably knew this years ago that this core was on its way out. We just tried to ignore it.
A little bit. I kind of always thought Rizzo was going to be on the team sort of for a long time.
I thought he was a Cub for life.
Yeah, and then that was like one of the first, after Peterson earlier, and then Rizzo all of a sudden, and then you just sort of, I figure with Rizzo, you sort of knew the dominoes were falling.
I think, once Rizzo was gone, you knew everyone else was gone.
Yeah.
But
no one
I think it's shocking, really.
Yeah.
Everyone knew it, but I still think there's a lot of anger.
Yeah.
A lot of confusion about,
why?
Why would you do this?
Yeah. Are the Ricketts just really cheap, or is it they thought this is the best for the guys or for the team itself? I don't know. It's hard to know.
I think there's a lot of emotion right now around this these trades.
Yeah.
Which is understandable. And I think we should just talk about what we thought of initially.
Yeah, my initial reaction, I was definitely shocked. I knew there had been trade talks. I knew the trade deadline was coming, and I knew there was this possibility, but seeing Rizzo being the first one kind of announced I was shocked. That's all I can say. I wasn't angry or sad or upset. I just was sort of shocked with, oh my God, it was Riz is gone all of a sudden.
It was sad.
Yeah.
But it didn't feel like real life. It felt like this was all just a dream. I had a dream about this. I had a dream about a week before the deadline.
A nightmare?
That more like a nightmare that all the Cubs players had been traded away.
Yeah.
And that, kind of made it feel unreal for me because I dreamed that. So I think when Rizzo got traded, it was almost like, no. That can't be.
Can't be right?
No. He'll be back next week.
Yeah.
He's just taking a break. No, he's gone.
Yeah.
And I think that's the reality. Of it for all Cubs fans. And I think most of us are still trying to. Accept that.
It was it was a sad day to be a Cubs fan, that's for sure. And I know a lot of my longtime Cubs fans and friends, they kind of all posted and put things on Facebook and just say, how angry they were angry and upset. And this is sort of the end of the, an era, which it is. It is sort of the end of the 2016 Cubs who won the World Series. And like I was saying to you before, this is kind of your, being your age as you are, this was your first team. This is the Cubs core that you really grew up with. I've gone through a couple of different ones, but it never really stung this much.
I think it stings more too because, one, this is the team that won it all. This is the team that brought it back to Wrigley, brought it back to Chicago, and brought so much joy to the fans. And I think a lot of people who had given up on baseball, had given up on the Cubs, got back into it. So I think for a lot of people who hadn't watched the Cubs in 20 years, this was the team they found their love for baseball again.
Exactly.
With. And I think it's even more shocking, secondly, because it all happened at once.
Yeah, that's true.
Just a week ago,
all of a sudden, boom.
Bryant, Kimbrel, Tepera, Rizzo, Baez, they were all on the team.
Everybody's on the team.
Everyone was on the team.
Yeah.
And just, a month and a half ago, we thought this team was going to be buyers. This team was surging to the playoffs.
Man.
And then
they had that 11-game losing streak, and it just totally turned things around. It was horrible.
Just turned things on its head.
Yeah. Sort of. It's like the rugs kind of pulled out, the Band-Aid ripped off. It was like one of those things rather than just sort of a slow.
It sucks because
away. But
I think when there was not many people throughout, from 2017 to 2020, there weren't many people who were really understanding how the Cubs were letting such a great opportunity slip away. But now in retrospect, everyone's like, hey, why weren't we, buyers at the deadline every single time? Why weren't we going out and grabbing players who could help us? Because it kind of feels like, the ownership and the GM just kind of left the core out to dry.
It does feel that way. You hope that they're planning for something. It's really hard to see their, Yu Darvish trade at the beginning. I mean, just off-season trades, and it just really looked like they weren't building.
It's more frustrating for me too because there's teams like the Dodgers who spend so much money, and Chicago is a big market. We're not the Oakland A's. Yeah. We are a big market, third largest city in the United States, and yet the Dodgers in LA. With their already stacked roster, they just won the World Series. Yeah. They went out in the offseason, got Trevor Bauer, and then just over the deadline, they picked up Max Scherzer and Trey Turner from the Nationals.
That's crazy.
I mean, how are they able to do it when we can't hold on to a handful of guys whose contracts are running out? I don't get it.
Making those kind of big trades and everything, like you don't see that with the Cubs. They sort of pulled their core in from the farm system and made the 2016 run with guys. It wasn't like big trades coming in like that. They came from a core. That's kind of how they try to do it. You don't see these giant. It's also contracts for these players like that.
When they won it all, most people thought that that Cubs team in 2016 was going to win it at least once more, because it seemed like such a sustainable success. If you looked at their prospects, if you looked at their team, a bunch of young guys, some of them on their rookie contracts, how could we let that opportunity go away? I mean, how could that happen?
Yeah. Well, we're annoyed, but we still love those guys. I think have to ask you. We have to turn we're getting like, I just feel like I just want to be that way the whole time. So do you have some favorite moments? I mean, I feel like there's been so many moments through the years with these guys that we have to remember some of that, because, just trying to remember what happened, 3 days ago doesn't really do it justice, if that makes sense. So you have a favorite Rizzo or Baez or Bryant
There's so many, and it's hard to pinpoint one, I think, because I've watched so many Cubs games with this core.
Well, I'll start.
And so many moments have happened.
Cliche best moment was Bryant throwing the last, ball to
So
Rizzo.
that's two. You got 2 and 1.
You know what? That was my favorite Rizzo moment, basically.
Putting the ball in the pocket.
And put the ball. But Baez has so many moments, so many spectacular El Mago type moments. But that play he did earlier this year was so crazy. When he sort of got in the rundown between first and home and let everybody kind of advance. That was so crazy. And it's crazy. It was this year, but it's one of my favorite moments of Baez, essentially. But there's so many.
The greatest Cubs moment of 2021.
Yeah. I mean, I know you have so many of them. There was you mentioned.
I remember one game for Rizzo. Well, first of all, in Game 7 of the World Series, Riz, I still remember them showing this clip, of Rizzo talking to Rizzo and Bryant, and he was just talking about how much of an emotional mess he was, and I always find that one hilarious and so sentimental. But I think one of my other favorite moments for Rizzo, I remember this. I think it was 2018. I don't remember why this stuck with me, because Rizzo hit many walk-offs in his time. But we were down in the 9th inning, and Bodie came up and he hit a home run to tie the game. And then, a few pitches later, Riz hit a home run, a walk-off homer. And I just remember that the crowd just exploded. It was so much fun to watch, because, at that point, usually you give up on the game, and then Riz came back and won the game for us. And I think that was probably for Riz. Baez, I mean, just all the stolen bases and all the no-look tags, they just stick with me.
Oh, man. What is Contreras? I mean, I got to be wondering what Contreras is thinking, what David Ross is thinking.
If I was Contreras, I would just want to leave. I would want out.
Yeah, he's such a player, such a professional. I hope, he stays with the Cubs. I don't know what his
He's still relatively young, too. I mean, he could be like Yadier Molina, who has been with the Cardinals for multiple cores, multiple cores. Yadi has been there the entire time. Maybe that's what Contreras is like. Maybe he's there for the next run that we make. Yeah. I don't know really what's going to happen with Contreras. Yeah. I think there's going to be a lot of questions of whether this was the right choice or whether it was the wrong choice.
We won't know right away.
I don't think we're going to know immediately. Yeah. I think in the future we're going to have to break down, did we actually get the good end of the deals for the trades? No one wants to talk about who we got for the trade right now because everyone's just so upset about the players who left.
Look at the names, and I don't know.
We don't want to compare them to an actual trade value right now because there's so much emotional value and nostalgic value. But eventually, we will have to come to that. Come to a conclusion of whether these were good trades.
Right.
And I think as hard as it is, we have to look to the future.
Yeah.
We have to. Because we knew that this wasn't going to last forever. And
when are we going to be contenders? Like, when's the next year we're going to be contenders? Certainly wouldn't be next year, I'm guessing, with what's happened, unless some just sure luck happens. Or, they're not going to pull any crazy off-season deal this year. I can't imagine.
I just can't wait. I know there's been talks about Rizzo maybe coming back. Coming back if we sign him back out, because we're basically loaning him to the Yankees right now. Yeah. There's a chance we sign Rizzo in the offseason, which would be great. I mean, I love Rizzo. He's my favorite player. Yeah.
Right now, they're a little bit like the zombie Cubs kind of got their, they're just walking around and just trying to finish out the season. It is also shocking. I mean, I think people are so crazed about the fact that these guys left. But if you look at our 2016 World Series roster, half the team was already gone before we released these guys. I think this was just the core that everyone loves the most, and that's why it hurts so much more. Yeah. All right. Well, I think they deserve some thanks. They gave us so much excitement. I will never forget. Never breaking down in tears right after that last World Series out. I mean, the Cubs fan for a very long time. Got to see that finally. My father got to see that before he passed, and now here we got and you got to see that. Lucky you. You have to wait 108 years. But when's that going to happen again? I don't know. It's still there. I still have that excitement from that year. So thank you to Rizzo, to Bryant, to Baez, to
the city of Chicago,
even the players that are still there. Thank you to
the city of Chicago will always be in debt to you guys. I think absolutely, and to the players who left before Schwarber, Lester, guys who retired like Lackey, and even Arrieta, who has come back and he struggled, but we still love you, Arrieta. And I really do hope they put a statue of Rizzo outside of Wrigley Field of him catching that final out, putting it in his pocket. That if they don't do that, I might start cheering for the White Sox. I might.
Okay. Let's hope not. But all right. Well, put your thanks in the comments if you want to. I know it's been a while since we've done a video. I might add some clips from when we were at the Cubs game a few weeks ago in person.
This was the last game seeing the
last Cubs seeing them. I might throw some in here, but thanks for joining us. Now that things are winding down this summer, hopefully we'll get back on a better schedule.
It's going to be tough watching them with other teams, but I'm going to be cheering for them still. I'm going to be cheering for Javi. I saw him hit a home run with the Mets, which is bitter. But at the same time, I love the fact that he's having success. I love the fact that they're all going to have success with the other teams, and maybe they'll be on a contender too.
We bleed Cubby Blue, and we'll cheer them on as much as we can. So, but anyway, thanks for joining us this week. Hopefully we'll come to you with a few more episodes pretty soon.
I know this was kind of a different video, more of a sad and reflective video than normal, but I think it's necessary, and I think it reflects how the city of Chicago is feeling right now. Yeah. Anyway.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us. That's it for this week, right? And we'll see you in the next one. Everybody, take care.
Yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next one. Peace.